reason the truck's still in there is because when we fired it up to burp the coolant back down and make sure there wasn't any leaks, all the bells and whistles went off on the inside of the truck. All kinds of codes and stuff. What a way to start the week, right? So you want to be an owner of... Oh, that's gone now. It's washed away. Let's see. See it, but look at the truck thing. Anyway, all the way down through there. So, I get to my truck this morning, getting ready to head down, grab my load that I've been doing every week, and there is a puddle or a stream of coolant, river, whatever you want to call it. So I guess first things first, I'm gonna have to cancel that load, see if I can get in the shop over here at the TA and get that taken care of, because it's not leaking. You know, the video I just showed, it's not I know you guys couldn't hear what I was saying. It wasn't dripping. There's not a drip, so I don't know. It's got to be a small leak, because it wasn't there yesterday when I came up to do some stuff to the truck. That whole area I pointed at, you know, behind the frame rail there, was just soaked though, and you can still see it on the frame rail. Got back this morning and there it was. I ran the truck, or I topped the coolant off, about 1.5 gallons coolant, topped it off, and ran the truck, ran the APU, nothing. It's not dripping, but there's obviously a leak, so we're gonna see if we can't find it and get that taken care of, because I don't need that blowing out on the road. So my day's shot so far, assuming they can get me in. But we'll see what we do. So we are in the shop, and we have Aya, and she said this is funny, I guess. I don't.
So we've spent like 2 hours searching for a coolant leak, and we're like this close to replacing the coolant lines for $600 worth, right?
Okay.
Okay, now look at this. This is our coolant leak. Zoom into it. Can you flip
Hang on.
around?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
I don't.
You don't?
Oh, it's from here?
That's how, no, right here. That's how tiny it is.
Oh, wow.
That's why it hasn't been, it's just been soaking the lines, because it's such a small leak.
Yeah, because we thought it was leaking from down here somewhere behind the frame. Apparently it's right there.
It's so subtle, it just soaks
I can't even
the lines.
see it, honestly.
You can't? You can probably feel it. See? Can you see my finger?
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, yeah.
See how small it is?
Yeah, I do. I see it now.
So I'm still checking them, because this one's wet too. So.
Oh yeah, you can see it coming down now.
Yeah. But it was just enough to soak the lines.
Poor Ty has been crawling all up under my truck, pulling the sheathing off to try and find this leak. But,
if that's the only leak, then you're lucky. But
we'll see.
I mean, we will see, because it's still.
Well, we're still in the shop. We, I say we, but Tira, I can't remember her name. She got the hose changed, the coolant hose. We replaced one of them, not both of them. We found the leak. Wasn't sure if it had other leaks in it or not, so we just pulled it, changed the whole thing. You can see the truck's still in there. The reason the truck's still in there is because when we fired it up to burp the coolant back down and make sure there wasn't any leaks, all the bells and whistles went off on the inside of the truck. All kinds of codes and stuff. And so they put the machine on it, or put the computer on it, and saying high voltage. It's like, what? We weren't even messing with the voltage. Yeah, Apparently a ghost zapped my alternator while we were in there because the alternator was reading 18 volts. It's like, what the hell? Well, we just had the alternator put on in December. So, yeah. So now I'm putting another alternator on again. It could be a lot worse. I could have got out of here pretty cheap today, but the cost of the alternator, I'm getting bent over on the alternator. But the alternator they put on there to begin with was doing that road call was an aftermarket alternator, and it's only been in there since December. So I'll be hitting them up and see if I can't get a refund or something on that. But you know, I didn't have a choice but to change it. But they're, I guess, putting the factory alternator back on there, so we'll see how that goes. That's probably why it's so expensive. But what a way to start the week, right? That's your update for now. Oh, almost forgot. Hang on, a little bit of excitement over here. There's been like 3 different work trucks out here working on this truck, and apparently he's, oh, there he goes again. Apparently he's been out here for a few days with several different companies working on his truck. And that company right there is parked in front of his truck because his company doesn't want to pay the bill. But now he's trying to leave and that truck is not moving. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if we end up pushing him out of the way or something. Well, I heard the shop guys saying, and I think they did the overhead out there in the parking lot, which they're not supposed to do. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if he ends up pushing him out of the way or something. That's it for now. See you guys soon. Update is he must have finally paid because he just pulled out. All right, so the deal is the line was, of course, a line that goes to the APU. Why wouldn't it be? But we got that replaced. We replaced one of the 2 lines that go. I don't know if it was the send or the return, but it had just a small leak in it, which was running down and soaking everything. And the reason I lost a gallon and a half of coolant. And this makes sense because I was like, how does such a small leak lose so much? But one of the master techs in there was like, you know, it probably had a small leak, expanded, and burst once it expanded. So once it expanded and burst, all the fluid ran out, and then of course, you know, it comes back down. So now it's a small pinhole again, or whatever, because it wasn't under as much pressure. So we got that switched. We got the alternator taken care of. What should have been a relatively small bill. What's up, dude? What should have been a relatively small bill for trucking wound up being double what it should have been. So there was between the alternator and the lines and all that stuff, it was, I mean, it still could have been a lot worse, but it was cost me another $1,300 between the alternator, and the alternator is what cost the most. Went back with the Delco radio alternator because it's the stock alternator. Issue with the alternator, there was one of the bolts, well, they said it was the voltage regulator, which is now built into them, so you can't adjust them. But one of the bolts that connects everything was broken on the inside. And I don't know if it got bumped when they were working on it and it just finished it off, or what the deal was, but they couldn't even get the bolt out. They were going to try and just take the bolt out and replace the stud. But the fact is it's connected on the inside, plus it would just spin. They couldn't even get it out. I've reached out to the people that replaced it back in December, and they're like, yeah, we'll warrant it. Just bring it back and we'll swap it out. Problem is they're way over in Flint, Michigan, and I'm not going to drive to Flint to swap it out. I'm going to see if it was a Fleet Pride alternator, so I'll just see if I can find one closer and swap it out. I would rather just get the money back on it, but I guess we're, you know, best case scenario, I'll have an extra alternator riding around with me. That way I've got it. What? It is what it is. Oh, and was it Tira? Tira, I think was her name. I don't know. She was awesome. She's been doing this about a year. It kind of caught me off guard because you don't see a lot of, well, let's face it, you don't see a lot of techs that are, you know, climbing all over everything, getting dirty, you know, unless they absolutely have to. But she jumped right in. I pulled the truck in, and she jumped in between the bumper and the wheel, and was looking for it. Next thing I know, she grabs the frame rail and just slides up under the truck. I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see people, you know, doing a trade, much less, you know, a female getting in there and getting dirty and getting it done. I guess that's it for this video. I'm going to cut it off here. Appreciate you guys watching. I know I hadn't done a video in a while. I got some updates, some ideas for some things I want to talk about. So we'll catch you guys soon. But in the meantime, you know, like, subscribe, share, all that good fun business. And another $1,300 bill. There's a Cash App down there. I'm going to go ahead and eBay. Everybody else is. Anybody wants to throw money at that Cash App, a little donation, cool with me. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm just kind of joking around with that, but it's there. And I'm going to finish my coffee, and then I'm going to try and get a load and get out of here. In the meantime, thanks for trucking with T-Bone, and we will see you guys soon.